The Wonder Years will reign as one of the best half-hour coming-of-age sitcoms of all time.
Would you stand up and walk out on me? Lend me over.
It was believable, with relatable characters which brought us back to our youth. The show followed young Kevin Arnold growing up in a suburban middle-class family through the 60s and 70s. And released in 1988, it was packed full of nostalgia. So popular, it garnered a top 30 spot in the Nielsen ratings each of its first 4 seasons. And after just 6 episodes, it had already won a Primetime Emmy for Outstanding Comedy. No wonder they have a reboot in the works. But we'll get to that. I'm your host, Nostalgic Nick, and today we're heading back to see what the Arnold family got into after the Wonder Years wrapped. If you enjoy our cast rewind, please make sure to hit that thumbs up for us and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Now let's stare through the eyes of an adolescent boy.
What are you, crazy?
Fred Savage. Kevin Arnold is the youngest child of Jack and Norma, and the main character we follow throughout the series. We watch Kevin wrestle with maturity as he handles all the common obstacles of a boy in suburbia, from merciless teachers to a forever quest to gain the heart of Winnie Cooper, the girl of his dreams and of his neighborhood. Fun fact, to make it easier for Fred Savage to react to the constant voiceover, they had an on-set narrator too.
This was going too far. I was a pervert, not a felon.
But do you know what great actor played old Kevin? Well, the taller half of the Wet Bandits, of course. Yep, Daniel Stern, famously of Home Alone and City Slickers. Fred Savage began acting in 1986 at age 9. Booking a leading role in the film The Boy Who Could Fly. Then in '87, his wishes were once again answered, nabbing the grandson role in the Rob Reiner-directed classic The Princess Bride, where he got to act solely with Columbo himself, the great Peter Falk. Then in 1988, things got even better somehow, playing Judge Reinhold's son in the comedy Vice Versa, and at just 13 years old, Savage became the youngest actor ever to be nominated as an outstanding lead actor for a comedy series. In 1989, he co-starred along with his older self, playing Daniel Stern's son, this time in the great fantasy flick Little Monsters, for which his little brother Ben made his film debut too. And you'll certainly remember him as Corey Matthews in the Disney coming-of-age classic Boy Meets World. After the Wonder Years, he returned to high school at age 17 and later attended Stanford, where he took a year off to get back into TV with the NBC sitcom Working. And this is where he tried directing for the first time, which he continued with 2 episodes of his little brother's show and several other Disney series. In 2007, he got in with the gang, directing 17 episodes of the outrageous FX comedy It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. And from Modern Family to The Connors, he's a skilled comedic television director for sure. And he's still acting too, like the short-lived Fox show The Grinder and Netflix's Friends from College. And it's encouraging to see his most current project, the Wonder Years reboot, centered around a different young boy and family in Montgomery, Alabama. Today, Fred is in his mid-40s and married his wife Jennifer in 2004, and the couple has 3 children. Dan Lauria. Jack Arnold was a gruff, money-conscious contractor and veteran of the Korean War, where he served as an officer in the Marine Corps. And his actor, Dan Lauria, was also in the Marine Corps during the Vietnam War. Lauria got his start in acting while attending Southern Connecticut State on a football scholarship, and he worked as a substitute teacher and athletics coach in Long Island before getting his first gig on the soap opera The Doctors in 1977. But it was slow going, until he booked the recurring detective Harry Dupnick in 1987 on Cagney and Lacey. More recently, he was a series regular on the 2012 show Sullivan and Son, and we last saw him on the TV drama This Is Us as Mr. Damon. And he's got 4 projects in the works. So at 74 years old, it's safe to say this veteran actor is far from done yet.
I think we've done pretty well. Don't you?
Yeah.
Allie Mills. Unlike her husband, Norma is super friendly and upbeat, constantly trying to keep the peace in her household. And with the rise of feminism in the 60s, she yearned to break out of her homemaker role.
I followed the directions in the cookbook that came with the new stove.
Allie Mills, also known as Allie Bean, as her husband was actor and author Orson Bean, also well known as a celebrity panelist of To Tell the Truth and Match Game. Allie was 23 years his junior, and the two were married from 1993 until his death in 2020. Mills was a graduate of Yale in 1973 and studied acting at the London Academy before her breakout gig with the comedy series The Associates, where she played an attorney opposite the still unknown Martin Short. Hill Street Blues fans may remember her Tracy Renko from the second season. In 1993, she began her recurring role on Dr. Quinn Medicine Woman as the doctor's sister Marjorie, and we have a terrific cast breakdown of that pioneering show, so check it out next. In 2006, she first played the role of Pamela Douglas on The Bold and the Beautiful, which she'd continue until 2019 for nearly 700 episodes. Today, she is 70 years old and currently filming the movie Last Chance Charlene. Olivia Dabo. Karen is Kev's older sis, a free-spirited hippie, which often clashes with her father's conservative nature and plays for a lot of fun. Olivia is actually English, and her dad is Mike Dabo, a member of the 1960s musical group Manfred Mann. Olivia Dabo began acting in 1984, playing the princess in Arnold's Conan the Destroyer. Then in '86, she co-starred with Keanu Reeves in the high school gymnastics film Flying. Dabo left the Wonder Years after the first 4 seasons, but did return as a guest star. In recent years, she's done a ton of voice work, voicing Jane in Disney's Legend of Tarzan, and voicing Luminara in Star Wars The Clone Wars. And she's also followed Dad's footsteps and does music too, releasing her debut album in 2008,
Sailor under a perilous sky. My visions.
And singing on Julian Lennon's 1991 album, as she was formerly engaged to John's first son. Today, Olivia is 52 and currently filming a movie called Bandit, which stars Mel Gibson. Jason Hervey. Wayne is Kevin's annoying older brother, who enjoys physically tormenting Kevin and calling him the usual butthead or scrote.
You're too stupid to understand anyway, so...
But only Wayne could pick on Kevin. He's protective in that manner, as the show mirrors real life beautifully. When Wayne would inch the car forward as Kevin's trying to get in, that was improvised by Jason Hervey, because his real older brother did it to him too. Hervey began acting in 1979, but '85 was really the year for him, playing Charlie on 9 episodes of the final season of Different Strokes, and playing Marty's young Uncle Milton in Back to the Future at a very awkward dinner table scene. Ugh. Hervey's final acting role was taking over for Seth Green as the dog in 100 Deeds for Eddie McDowd in 2002.
I'm Eddie McDowd. I'm a dog, and I talk.
He then decided to become a public relations agent and served as the senior vice president of media for Health South Corporation. He worked with the company until late 2003, when he sued them for $300,000 for a fraud scandal. Not good PR. But Jason is still involved with TV. He was the executive producer of the Scott Baio show See Dad Run beginning in 2012. Today, Hervey is 49 and has 4 kids, including 2 stepchildren with his wife since 1998, Shannon. Josh Saviano. Paul Joshua Pfeiffer is Kevin's longtime best friend, an excellent student and the most lovable geek around. Rumors started circulating and widely believed that Paul was played by Marilyn Manson, but Manson would have been 19 years old at the pilot's time. Myth busted. In the series finale, Kevin says Paul went to Harvard and became a lawyer. And guess what? Saviano actually went to Yale, Harvard's arch rival, and did become a lawyer. Since then, he founded 2 startups, and now works with various artists to help form a stable life beyond the immediate success.
I work with artists and other creatives to sort of build a creative life forever.
Saviano briefly returned to acting in 2014 for a 3-episode arc on Law & Order SVU. And today, at 45 years old, he's been married to Jennifer Romer since August 2002, and the pair have 1 child together. Danica McKellar. Winnie Cooper is the girl next door who has Kevin's heart. And despite fans wanting them to end up together for years, things never turn out exactly the way you plan them. As Kevin said towards the end of the show, McKellar grew up on this series, even having her first kiss on screen with Fred Savage. In 1992, she was part of the Chuck Norris movie Sidekicks, which was directed by Chuck's youngest brother, Aaron. But it was tough for her to find good work for a while, the curse of a child star. But in 2002, she was on the cover of the comedy Sex and the Teenage Mind, and nabbed a recurring role as Elsie Snuffin for season 4 of The West Wing. In 2005, McKellar appeared in lingerie for Stuff magazine, after readers voted her the 1990s star they would most like to see in lingerie. McKellar agreed to the shoot in part to obtain grittier roles. I'm not sure that wish got granted, as she's most prolific with voice work and Hallmark movies.
Heat vision? Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
We last saw her in the miniseries Matchmaker Mysteries in 2021. Aside from acting, she has written 6 nonfiction books, all about making mathematics more relatable for kids, 3 of which were on the New York Times children's bestseller list. She graduated from the University of California with a degree in mathematics, and today at 46 years old, she will forever be the apple of so many of our eyes. Little Winnie Cooper. What a cast, what a show. It's always fun to discover what these child actors got into after the limelight. Math books, never would have guessed it. So tell us, who was your favorite character from the Wonder Years? Will you be tuning in for the reboot, this time narrated by the skilled Don Cheadle? Well, let us know in the comments below, cause we read every one. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so you never miss a memory. From all of us here at Do You Remember, thanks so much for watching.